How's it going, folks? Brian Cusco here at Triple B. Big shout out to my girls over the Pearl Lab. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you need to go watch this video right here. Today's guest is Gavin from Balls to You in the UK. And Gavin's had a YouTube channel where he talks about ball pythons and snakes for quite some time now. I watched him actually before I started my own channel. And he came over to the Tinley Park show here in the States, and I got a chance to sit down with him. We did a little interview, and it was a good one. It was a good one. Gavin's a great dude, and I'm hoping to make my way over to the UK at some point, return the favor, and visit them over on that side of the pond. Right before we get into this video, I've got an important message. Southeast Carpet Fest is coming up, and they're doing an auction that's raising money for nidovirus research, which is something that's very important to us folks to keep, especially pythons. But there's a link down in the description. You go find the auction. I've got items up there. Lots of other people have great items up there. I would appreciate if you guys go check out that link real quick and help us raise money for nidovirus research. It's very important for us snake keepers. Please and thank you. Without any further ado, here's the interview with Mr. Gavin. You're watching Triple B TV. But the one thing I do always ask people is how did you get into keeping snakes?
Probably about 12 or 13 when I had my first snake. And I've always been obsessed with reptiles, as have most of us. And it's just grew from there. So really I've always had some sort of reptile or what have you. And it's just grew from there.
You travel a long way to be here, man.
Oh yeah.
Is this your first time to the States? Or?
No, this is the second time. It was 3 hours on the train to the airport, then 8 hours, obviously, to Chicago. Smooth, real good, real good. So I'm really pleased to be here.
Yeah, man, it's good to have you. It's good to have you.
Thank you.
Nice to see you here. I watched your channel before I even started my own channel. So you had that thing going, and it's good. It's one of the things that having that content out there and putting it out there. And are you one of the only people in the UK that's doing it?
Yeah, I think so. There are a few more, but when I started, it was mainly to document my journey. But then it became. I realised there was a lack of help, so I wanted to help people and give information and help. If someone had a problem, try and give a solution, and that's where it's really grown from, and what it's known for is just helpful hints and tips, and not everything I do will suit everyone else's reptile room or setup, but at least I give them something to think about. Maybe try this instead of that, and try different things, and that's really why I did it. And I have so many messages, and I speak to so many people saying that the information that I put out there is very helpful, and that's all I can ask. As long as it helps someone, reaches someone. But off the back of that, it's also brought new people into the hobby, and if I can educate people in how to conduct themselves, how to do things correctly, hopefully we won't have any issues with animal neglection and all that sort of stuff. So it's just teaching people the right way, I think, to do things correctly. So
it's good, man. I appreciate you coming out here and seeing us, man, because
it's awesome.
It's a long way. It's a long way to come.
Yeah, my body doesn't know which way is up or what time it is, so I'm operating on coffee at the minute, and I'm just like, obviously in the UK they're 6 hours. 6 hours in front,
right? So
it's a bit like, my body's all over the place, but just buzzing.
What do you think of the show so far? I mean, it's
amazing.
So early on the first day.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like a kid in a candy shop. I'm just like, people are so nice. Get to see all the rack systems correctly and properly, and see people set up and get some ideas from mine, and yeah, it's just really, really, really awesome.
Do you guys have any big shows like this in the UK? Or?
Yeah, so we have one sort of like foundation that does 3 shows through the year, and it's that is the main one. There is some sort of smaller shows, but the main one is the one which is in June, September, and November.
What is that called?
It's the IHS.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, I've heard of that.
The IHS, which they put on the show, and it's great. I mean, for me, it's you go there, you meet loads of people. It's a bit, bumping into breeders that you've spoke through the years. and just generally get a chance to meet like-minded people, you know. So it's good.
That's good, man. It's awesome. What are some of your goals with either your channel or with your breeding? Do you have any goals you have set for yourself? Or?
Just to help, you know. That's my main goal. If I can help bring new people into the hobby, the right sort of people, and help experienced people, you know, just with different methods, that's it. Project-wise, people who follow my channel know I love really different stuff. So the ultramale gene is something I like working with. Again, there's some other genes, but I think recessive projects is obviously a good thing to get into. It's long term, it's hard work, but you know what? It keeps you humble.
Is there stuff that you guys have there in the UK that we don't, or vice versa? Like, have you seen stuff here that you don't see in the UK? Or?
Yeah, I mean, I've got some interesting genes myself that I'm working with, and there's a few sort of dinker projects in the UK. Obviously, there's some stuff in Europe, and I think it's vice versa. So over here, there's some interesting genes that you guys have got, which we haven't got in the UK. It's difficult to have everything. I just think that there are so many. The ball pythons, it's endless. You know, there's so much you can do. There's never an end. There's no limit. So
do you keep anything else besides ball pythons? Or
yeah, I've got a few different species. So I've got some dart frogs, I've got some Pac-Man frogs, tortoise. But yeah, I've had crested geckos, leopard geckos. I've had some different species of snakes. So like boas and corns and kings. I'm tempted to get some viper boas, but I'm a bit like, oh, I don't know. So I do love all species, but the passion is the ball python for sure.
Yeah. Well, with the channel name too, I mean, and that's also like a play on words a little bit, right? Like.
Yeah. So the name originated. Asking for help is something that I'm not shy of. If I've got a problem, I'll ask someone, you know, can you help me? And there was a few breeders I reached out to, not only in the UK but also in the US, where they were very reluctant to help me. It's a bit sad, but it's true. When I then questioned, I was interested in a snake they had for sale. You know, they were like my best friend, you know. And so that gave me the concept of like, you know what, balls to you, mate. You know, if you're not going to help me, I'll help myself. And it's a bit of an English sort of tongue-in-cheek saying, but yeah, that's where it just came from. And the whole thing was based around just being, you know, down to earth and just being, you know what, balls to you. I'm going to learn myself, or I'm going to speak to someone who will help me. And that's just really where it came from, really. And I just stuck with it because it was just like balls to you, you know. So a bit of a tongue-in-cheek thing, you know.
I like it, man. Well, you're the same person as you are on your videos. So
Thank you. I hope so.
That's all I can expect from anybody. Really,
and yourself, you know. I've met some amazing people like yourself who've made the experience so far just so much enjoyable, you know. And I remember watching some of your videos as well. And when you were in the front room with your better half, and you was showing all your snakes. I think it was one of your earlier videos. You was showing your ball python collection and stuff, and it's just fantastic to see where you were and where you've come and where you are now. And I think a lot of people in the reptile community are grateful for you doing what you do.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
So
Nice
seriously, you need to be recognised as much as anyone else. You know.
Just doing what I do, man. I'm just having fun with it. That's what it's all about.
It's awesome.
I appreciate you sitting down with me, man.
And you, brother. Anytime, yeah?
Right
Anytime you're around to come in the UK,
yeah, I'm
always
coming.
welcome. Man.
We're coming to the UK, folks.
Anytime. We'll get him over there and we'll do some vlogging.
Yeah, man. Thank you, Gavin. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Take care.
Gavin, thanks again for coming out, man. It's good to have you on. And thank you. Next week, we're going to be sitting down with Mr. Doug Knacker of Hissy Fit Reptiles. He's the guy that actually inspired all my rack cards here that you see around the room. And I'm going to sit down with him, talk about snakes. And we've got him and then one other Tinley episode. And then after that, it's jumping into the Pomona stuff. And I made sure to include animals because I know we've been doing lots of talking to people, but these string of Pomona interviews that are coming up are going to be full of animals too. So hope you guys stay tuned for that. Until then, you've been watching B TV. Y'all take care.
J.T. Tomlin. attendance, and please report to the registration table.
Both in there, kind of even. Yeah, this is where the tough guys hang. You didn't know where you been all day. I'm gonna have to come over there and see.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? Coming up at 12 p.m.
Let's get ready. Big out shot.